What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time joining me today, my name is Noah Cavanaugh and I'm a pro footballer from Seattle, Washington. Today's video is super special. I've got a pair of boots that I got from a Danish site called Unisport. You guys may know they are huge on Instagram and Facebook. These pair of boots are 2 years old. They're incredibly bright, incredibly comfortable, and I'm really excited to review these for you guys. So without further ado, guys, let's hop into the video. So today's boot review is the X 19.1 in the Locality pack. Now, these boots I got from Unisport, as I mentioned below. Their website will be linked below. I'm not sponsored by them, but I use them a lot, and I loved their store in Denmark when I was playing over there, living over there. So let's get into this review. So these are in a size 9 US. I wear the X GHOSTED.1 in a 9 US, so these should be absolutely perfect. I actually remember these being more comfortable, so I'm actually really curious to know which ones are more comfortable between these and the X Ghosted, because I actually tried on the X Ghosted in a store not that long ago, a couple months ago before my foot was broken. And special fun fact is that now that I am back and moving around without a boot on a little bit here and there, I can actually try on both pairs or both shoes on each foot, which is super exciting. So let's get into the unboxing. These are absolutely beautiful. Yes. Okay. So there is number one. Absolutely gorgeous. We'll set that right here, and a little bit of paperwork, and the second boot. So if you guys haven't seen the Locality pack before, these are just absolutely stunning. They are totally pink. It's like a blackout boot, but insert this beautiful pink color in, I think they call it shock pink, yep, and or rosa in Spanish, which is awesome. So these are in the firm ground variant. I think they're FG-AG studs is I think the way that they do these. I'm not actually sure if the X 19.1s came in an AG sole plate, but needless to say, those are the beautiful boots. So a couple facts about the 19.1s. The 19.1 as a boot was the successor to the 18.1, and they released on May 7th in 2019. This particular boot released on the 30th of March of 2020. So right before COVID happened. My guess is these were gonna be boots for the Euros. So this Locality pack was gonna be, this definitely would have been a great Euro boot because they're super bright. They would have been awesome on TV, etc., etc. They've got the sprint frame. They've got this really interesting textile upper, which is awesome. They are super soft, as you can see on this camera view. Really incredible how soft they are. And here, I'll take out the little piece that's inside. I've got some of the paper that's still in there. Adidas boxes, other than the Plus model, so the laceless versions of all these, usually just comes in a basic black Adidas box, as you guys saw. Nothing special, but that's honestly totally fine so long as the boots aren't damaged. So this is how the boots look, and I just think these look spectacular. They are so bright, so fun, and they're different in the sense that they feel a lot more knit-like, and obviously compared to the X Ghosted, because the X Ghosted is a completely plasticky upper, as I mentioned in my other review. I'll link that up here as well. So these are often worn by the F2 freestylers. You guys probably know who they are, Jezza and the other guy. I'm not sure what his name is. I can't remember. Forgive me. But absolutely class freestyle footballers, and they actually prefer these to the X Ghosted. Recently, a boot review or a classic boot channel that I follow, they provided the other guy, and for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but they provided him with 3 pairs of these X 19.1s in his size, and supposedly the laceless version of those were like his most worn boots of all time. And rightly so. These boots are so incredibly soft. I just can't get over them. I've never actually tried these particular boots on. I tried on the X 16.1s, or excuse me, 17.1 and 18.1s, which I don't think are that different, but this material on seems like an absolute class fit. And to be fair, they look like they could be wide enough, which is absolutely fantastic. Got a fantastic little heel liner, and it's a little bit plasticky around the sort of that rim right here where it does get a little like it could cut into your ankle or stuff, but we'll see when we try these on. They are 7.4 ounces in a size 9.5 US, so these will probably be 7.39 ounces. I mean, not really that different, but so very, very light. They're not the lightest boots, definitely not as light as the Puma Ultra, and obviously because these are a generation behind, you're gonna have to find these somewhere on a website like Retro Boots for You or some of the other boots sites that I have mentioned in websites before or in videos before. So here's the thing that I want to cover in this video. These boots are 2 years old-ish, a year old if you think about like this exact release, but about 2 years old now. And the question becomes, are football boots getting better or are they just getting different? And I think especially with boot technology, knit's been around for a really long time. Synthetic's obviously been around for a really long time, even longer than the knit material. You have that synthetic coating that makes your boot, quote unquote, waterproof or water resistant. That's been around for a really long time. Leather's been around obviously forever. That's kind of the OG. And I think it's something to think about when you're looking at football boots is it worth going and trying to find a boot that absolutely fits you really well and maybe is 2 years old, or is it just fine to continue buying boots that are similar generation, right? So you go from the X 19.1 and instead of going and trying to find on the internet an X 19.1 that you could wear and you know that fits really well, you instead buy an X Ghosted. Is that really the right decision for you? I can't answer that question, but what I can say for myself is I definitely think that there are boots that are older that are better than boots that are found today. And that is something that I think everybody needs to be aware of when you look at marketing. The companies like Nike and Adidas and Puma, Mizuno not as much, although they're starting to get bigger players that are signed with them. Mizuno, if you're looking for more players, let me know. I love your boots. So if that is the case, then it becomes a question of how do you manage the hype that comes around an X Ghosted, or the boots that Messi's wearing for Copa America right now are the brand new ones. Stay tuned because I have a review of those coming soon, but they haven't even released. I haven't even gotten them in my hands yet. And they're 2 generations. They're called the X Speed Flows, I believe. And so they're the next generation. The X Ghosted.1s are going to the wayside and the next generation are coming. They look more textile, but I guess the point is our football boots, is hype clouding our judgment of what objectively are better performing boots? You see a lot of players still wearing X 19.1s over the X Ghosted. A lot of players have said the X Ghosted are a little too stiff, or they're, you see custom variations of those boots. And I think it's really important to look at this in a way that says, the Magista Ober 1, the Magista Ober 2, the Hypervenom 3, those were all objective. And okay, of course, Hypervenom 1, yes, I know people are going to yell at me for that, but Hypervenom 1 realistically wasn't a incredible performing boot. Objectively speaking, Hypervenom 3 was better than Hypervenom 1 on objective performance. So if you take sort of the best objective performing football boots, and now they're the new generation of thing, and Nike has the Phantom GT, which I would argue is not as good as the Nike Hypervenom 3. So is it change for the sake of change, or is it just whatever? In my opinion, I think it's change for the sake of change in certain situations. The technology in the sole plate of this boot is not even close to that of the X Ghosted.1. What I mean by that is, from a sole plate perspective, absolutely stunning. The X Ghosted.1 is far superior to this. That being said, why not put, and again, I have to try these on to figure out if they fit my foot more comfortably or if they're just a more comfortable boot. But is it possible to do tiny little tweaks to the upper and then, yeah, do a completely different sole plate? But look at it in the way that is very, very, very much only fix what is really, really necessary. You put Carbitex in the sole plate, you make it a little more aggressive. Heck yeah, I'm sure everybody would want a speed boot to have that type of sole plate because it's by far the best sole plate on the market for speed boots, in my opinion. It's just absolutely, it's technologically advanced. They're beautiful looking. Obviously in the X Ghosted Plus video, you saw how gorgeous that reflective rainbow sole plate was. You slap something like a pink version of that on this boot, and I think it would be almost near perfect. Almost more so than the X Ghosted.1, which is that synthetic-y feeling. It is really soft and it is really nice, and I've tried them on obviously, but to me, this feels a little softer. So I'm really excited to see what they feel like on feet. And I really appreciate you guys sticking around, because this is a question that I've thought about a lot when looking at buying retro boots versus buying, well, retro boots, i.e., 2 years old. And I didn't get these from a retro boot dealer. I got these from Unisport. They're on the Unisport website for members only, but you just need your email. You don't pay anything for like a membership or whatever. These also, as these X line, have much more width and more volume in the toe box and the rest of the boot than, for say, a Vapor 13 or something like that was around during the same time that these were. And I think these gave a really good option for players who either, one, had pretty thin feet but just wanted a little more room or softness in the upper, or two, were wider footed players like myself who really needed that extra space. So I am really excited to try these on. Let me know down in the comments section, first of all, what you think. Out of 10, how would you rate these boots, both in color and in the way that they fit and feel on feet? And the second question I want you to answer down in the comment section below is, do you think that boots are just changing for the sake of change, or do you think they're actually getting better? And I don't mean your personal opinion, I don't mean how they look, I mean objective performance. Are they getting better as time goes on? That is something that I'm really curious about. Let me know in the comments, and let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video, guys. Let's get it. All right, guys, so out in my backyard with the X 19.1 Locality pack, I'm gonna throw these on feet. I have never tried these on. As I said before, X 17.1 and 18.1 I have tried. My guess is that they are very similar. And speaking of what we were talking about before, with the way that oftentimes big brands will do huge changes for no reason, and then put a bunch of hype around it, make it seem like the big new thing, but they actually might not be as good as the ones before. The X 17, 18, and 19.1s, I was really impressed by Adidas because they did essentially the same shape of shoe, but obviously with different types of uppers. So this is actually the first time that I've put football boots on my injured foot. So you guys are seeing a world premiere here, which is exciting. Let's get these on feet. Ooh, wow. I do have thick socks. I don't have my normal grip socks that I wear that are a lot thinner than these, but yeah, right away, these are super, super comfortable. Very, very impressed with how soft and stretchy they are. Tie these up really quick, and then I'll put on the other shoe. By the way, if I'm sweating already, it's because it's 105 degrees outside in Seattle, which is absolutely unheard of. We don't ever get this weather. I think it's the hottest it's been in like 30 years or something like that. So I am probably going to be sweating like crazy by the end of this little segment of the video, but that is irrelevant because these boots are really comfortable, and I am really impressed with how these fit. They definitely fit my feet better than the X Ghosted that I did the review on a while back. Again, link will be in the description for that one if you want to check it out. Those were the AG model that I got as soon as they came out. So, all right, awesome. So that is the boot on feet. They are super, super comfortable. They fit my foot really well. I love the heel counter in them. This little mesh pods that are on the back I think are far superior to the ones in the X Ghosted.1s. And yeah, feel on ball. Wow, these are unbelievable. And maybe we can get a close-up shot of like what they kind of look like on a little bit of wider feet, and see how that looks. And then, yeah. So we'll zoom in just a little bit. So as you can see, here is kind of where my foot is the widest,
and it's actually fitting really, really well. There's not a ton of space, especially in the Ghosted.1. This area right here, like, yeah, you can fit a finger, but that's kind of normal for me because I have a really wide foot here. But what I would say is these kind of go flush to my ankle, which is really nice, and it allows, and keep in mind, these are really thick socks, so it's gonna look kind of there. That's what the back looks like. Sole plates. Yeah, so those are the Ghosted, oh, excuse me, not the Ghosted, the X19.1s. Yeah, these are super, super comfortable. You guys are seeing a world premiere of me juggling for the first time in like 6 months, so, or not 6 months, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. My girlfriend's behind the camera smiling. I am very happy to be juggling, first of all, but also to have these on my feet. I think I will definitely be using these to like actually play in, because these are so, so comfortable. If I can get depending on how these go, if I can get my hands on another pair of these, I might just do these instead of some modern boot, because number one, these were cheaper than the other ones that I've tried on. Like the Mizunos that I really loved were actually really expensive. Here goes the sweat, there we go. And these are also a lot lighter, and they're just super, super comfortable. So yeah, that is it for the review, guys. Thanks again for joining me on this wonderful throwback video of another pair of boots that I found that is from sort of a couple years ago. Really excited to try these out, and I'm stoked that I managed to get a pair on my feet because they are super comfortable. I think they are better than the Ghosted.1s. Objectively, again, as I said earlier, the sole plate is better on the Ghosted.1s, but these are definitely, the upper definitely feels softer and more pliable, and definitely will break in much more easily. So that's super nice to hear. As always, guys, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.